Seoul shimmered below, a city of glass and steel, but tonight it was a hunting ground. My system pulsed, a familiar hum against my consciousness. Cloaked figure detected, high temporal activity. I soared above the glittering metropolis, a ghost in the machine, scanning the urban canyons for the faintest ripple in reality. Then, the sky tore open. Fractured rifts, like jagged wounds in the fabric of space-time, bled enemies into our world. They were grotesque hybrids, nightmares forged from alien flesh, cold machine, and the chaotic essence of time itself. One lunged, its limbs molten, burning through steel girders like paper. Another met my gaze, and its eyes projected illusions of my past failures, a psychic assault designed to break me. But it only fueled the fire. My immortal weapon thrummed in my hand, a living extension of my will, resonating with a bloodlust centuries in the making. I didn't hesitate. Temporal overdrive, activate. The world became a canvas, and I was the brushstroke, painting across dimensions. I struck a dozen foes in a single fluid motion. Each swing of my blade carved luminous trails of energy, disorienting the temporal monstrosities, bending reality to my whim. The streets below echoed with a symphony of destruction, sparks, explosions, and the dying cries of things that should not be. Yet, through the chaos, the cloaked figure remained a distant, silent silhouette, orchestrating the assault with an unseen hand. It watched, it learned. My system flashed a dire warning, the text glowing crimson in my vision. Unknown enemy intelligence, adaptive beyond SSS. Rage, cold and sharp, mingled with a burning determination. I whispered to the wind, a promise to the shadow in the sky. If you hide, I'll burn this entire world down just to find you. Suddenly, a new rift yawned open, wider and darker than the others. From its depths, a colossal being emerged, a twisted masterpiece of horror. It was a fusion of alien biology, gleaming machinery, and my own past echoes. Memories given form, regrets made solid, all welded into a single monstrous entity. It let out a roar that wasn't just sound. It was a physical force that warped gravity and bent the very flow of time. My system screamed the alert, enemy core, +SS threat, extreme caution required. There was no room for caution, only action. I phased through reality, a blur of motion, my immortal weapon blazing with righteous fury. Each strike was a thunderclap, tearing through reinforced armor and alien plating. Sparks flew like fireworks, twisted metal groaned, and raw energy exploded in blinding flashes. But the creature was intelligent. It adapted. As I pressed my attack, it split apart, dissolving into a swarm of multiple phantoms, each one a perfect deadly copy. They moved in unison, a synchronized dance of death. But I had an answer. Immortal Weapon resonance? Activate. I didn't just strike one. I struck them all, simultaneously. A single swing of my blade reverberated across dimensions, and every phantom shattered at the exact same instant. And in that moment of brilliant destruction, the cloaked figure finally descended, hovering just above the fray, its presence a cold weight on the battlefield. A voice, like static and whispers, echoed in my mind. You are awakening faster than expected. Rage, pure and undiluted, flared within me. I clenched my fists, the power coursing through me feeling like a rising tide. My system pulsed in response, a new notification glowing bright. New skill ready, absolute temporal mastery. A grim smile touched my lips. The game had just changed. Now, every strike I made wouldn't just be an attack. It would be a manipulation of space and time itself, allowing me to anticipate their moves across every possible timeline before they were even conceived. The entire city began to quake under the strain of the temporal distortions. Buildings flickered in and out of existence like faulty holograms. Roads twisted into impossible shapes. Time itself fractured, moments repeating and skipping like a broken record. But in the heart of the chaos, I was the anchor. My immortal weapon glowed with an inner light, pulsing with the weight of centuries of vengeance. The rifts continued to spew forth horrors. Enemies multiplied, their forms ever more bizarre. Warriors with crystalline skin that deflected energy blasts. Creatures with limbs that shifted and reformed mid-attack. Soldiers wielding plasma weapons of impossible alien origin. It was a tidal wave of death meant to overwhelm and consume. But I was no longer just a warrior. I moved like a god. With absolute temporal mastery, I was a step ahead of everything. A crystalline soldier would raise its arm, but my blade would already be there, shattering it before the thought to strike was even complete. A plasma bolt would fire, but I would have already shifted reality, its path bending harmlessly around me. I was the choreographer of this deadly ballet. Sparks, explosions, and the ichor of alien blood painted the battlefield in a brutal, beautiful mural of my fury. Through it all, the cloaked figure observed from its perch, a silent, calculating spectator. It was waiting for something. And then it arrived. A massive rift tore open the sky directly above me, revealing its centerpiece. A temporal mech, colossal in scale, fused with pulsating alien cores and weapons that distorted the very air around them. Its roar was not just a sound, it was an event that shattered reality itself. I gritted my teeth, a surge of adrenaline washing over me. Finally, a challenge. With a defiant cry, I leaped towards the behemoth, my immortal weapon blazing, ready to cut through its energy shields, to slice through dimensions. My system's final warning flashed: enemy adaptation extreme. Recommend maximum force. I was happy to oblige. The temporal mech struck, its massive claws tearing at the fabric of space. Gravity warped violently around me. Time itself became a weapon, slowing to a crawl one moment, then accelerating to a dizzying blur the next. But I was chaos incarnate. I phased through the crushing gravitational fields, my immortal weapon a streak of light, slicing through the mech's armored tendrils and energy conduits. A rain of sparks and molten metal fell upon the trembling city as reality buckled under the strain. I landed on a shattered rooftop, the ground unstable. Temporal reconstruction, I commanded. Fractured concrete and twisted steel reformed beneath my feet, giving me a solid platform to launch my next assault, even as I struck down a dozen smaller hybrid echoes swarming me. My system was a silent partner, a perfect predictor, flagging their attack patterns before they even existed in their own timelines. They were ghosts fighting a god. With a primal roar that echoed my centuries of pain and rage, I unleashed my full power. Recreation of Immortal Weapon, Temporal Overdrive. My blade multiplied, 1,000 copies of pure energy striking across a dozen dimensions at once. It was a cataclysm. A sunburst of light and energy exploded from the temporal mech, the shockwave leveling entire city blocks. The city itself trembled, and the citizens huddled in shelters below saw only blinding flashes that defied all laws of physics, a war fought on a scale they could never comprehend. Even the cloaked figure, the silent puppet master, flinched. I saw it blink, its detached observation momentarily replaced by something new, awe and calculation. A single thought crystallized in my mind, burning with absolute certainty. No one, not even time itself, can stop me now. I landed atop the highest skyscraper, the wind whipping at my coat. My immortal weapon pulsed with a soft, triumphant glow. My system, calm now, delivered its final message. Cloaked figure core detected. Prepare for final confrontation. As if on cue, the sky above split open, not with a chaotic rift, but with a clean, sharp tear of pure energy. The cloaked figure descended, no longer a distant shadow, but a tangible threat. Its form was now fully visible, an intricate suit of armor fused with gleaming alien tech, humming with contained power. A single, piercing violet eye fixed on me, seeming to see not just my body but the very essence of my soul. "You are no longer just a weapon, Kai," its voice echoed, a fusion of synthesized sound and ancient wisdom. "You are the key to all timelines." All the rage, all the vengeance, all the bloodlust I had held back for centuries surged to the surface. This was it, the culmination. My system flared one last time, the text a brilliant, blinding gold. Ultimate skill unlocked, dimensional eradication strike. With a roar that was both a challenge and a release, I leaped. Time, space, and reality itself became irrelevant. There was only me, my opponent, and the strike that would end it. My immortal weapon cut a path across dimensions, a blade that could sever the past from the future. We collided. Sparks, energy, and fractured reality exploded outwards in a silent, breathtaking cataclysm. The city shook to its foundations. Time shattered into a million glittering shards. When the light faded, I stood alone, triumphant yet bloodied. The cloaked figure was gone. A single thought echoed in the newfound silence of my mind. This battle is mine, but the war is far from over. Thank you so much for watching this epic first chapter. If you enjoyed Kai's journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single second of the action in the next episode. We'll see you in the next timeline.